What's going on YouTube? JT Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Deathstroke Incorporated number 4. This issue is written by Joshua Williamson, art by Howard Porter, and colors by Hi-Fi. So this particular issue picks up after the events of issue number 3, and at the end of that issue, Dinah Lance, Black Canary, discovered some mysterious stuff going on with the head of T.R.U.S.T. Turns out that Juliet is someone known as a Libra, and that was a major villain who worked for Darkseid at some point in the past. So Williamson's definitely pulling things from different events, and we know that he's also writing Justice League Incarnate. The villain here is hero, or whatever they want to call themselves. The head of T.R.U.S.T. is basically trying to do something to kind of save the multiverse, so they got their own little motivations going on here, but it seems that everything's going to be kind of connected right now. Like Deathstroke Incorporated seems to be connected to what's going on in the events of Justice League Incarnate, because it seems that DC is going to be moving towards another big type crisis event at some point in the near future. We know after this little story arc here, they're going to go into the events of Shadow War, but with the stuff going on in Justice League Incarnate and the Deathstroke Incorporated book here with the whole multiverse and all the different villains are kind of coming together and to get to the little crack of the source of power and yada yada yada. When things get to like multiverse and cosmic stuff, I gotta admit I'm not as well versed in that type of stuff. Like I know the bare basics and stuff, but when it starts to get more complicated multiverse, like universal cracks and energy, I just even look back to Scott Snyder's recent Justice League run and all the different energy sources and all that, and I'm just like, I am completely lost what's going on. So when you start to bring more cosmic stuff into it, it gets a little bit more confusing. In this issue in particular, I had to read it kind of more than once to really grasp what was going on, because at first, like, some jarring transition happens, like, wait, what? So I read it again, did a little digging on the character, on the Libra character, because I'm not, like I said, as familiar with a lot of the more cosmic stuff. So I did something like, oh, that character. So yeah, basically Black Canary and Slade get into a little conflict here. Dinah tells Slade that she was hired by Oracle to come investigate this thing. Slade had been doing his own investigating as well. Then the two of them agree to kind of make a little bit of a truce for the time being until they figure out like T.R.U.S.T's motivations for why they do what they do. So they did get into a little bit of a scuffle, and you know, it's cool to see them go toe to toe at some point. But basically, like, okay, we got to keep up appearances. They try to question Juliet about the whole situation, and then just as abruptly as can be, the Legion of Doom showed up. Now, when I did that, when I saw this, I looked, I'm like, one page later, I was like, wait, what? The Legion of Doom are here? I'm like, Lex Luthor's in that, and then all these other different characters. It was really quite confusing what was going on here. But then you come to the realization that it was actually something manipulated by Dr. Destiny and Prometheus, and Juliet was behind the whole thing to just kind of get some information out of them. Black Canary, being fooled by the illusion, uses her canary cry, but it turns out that it was used on Slade, and the two of them are sent off into some place known as the Ghost Zone. Now, the head of T.R.U.S.T, Juliet, does say she's trying to do some stuff to basically save the multiverse. So all their motivations, getting the heroes on their side, trying to kind of reform villains to their ways, it's all about trying to save the multiverse. But anyway, so Dinah and Slade had their little fight, and she accidentally blasted him with the canary cry, and Slade basically kind of up and dies here because his body couldn't handle it. And now in the next issue, she is seemingly going to go and face off against Slade Wilson's ghost for whatever reason. So kind of an interesting issue. I kind of liked the previous issue a little bit more. Still not a bad issue, all things considered. It was cool to see Black Canary go toe-to-toe with Deathstroke. It felt more fresh to me seeing Canary go against Deathstroke, because like it's usually just like, what is it, like Nightwing, the Titans, Batman. Sometimes once in a great while you'll see like Green Arrow go up against Slade, but it's nice to see Dinah and utilizing her fighting techniques and her metahuman abilities there. And we're actually getting some more information about T.R.U.S.T, why they're doing what they do. We also are trying to like set up the events a little bit of Shadow War. We still don't know all of Slade's ulterior motives. It feels like he's got like some secret hidden agenda kind of in there. Like with Black Canary, it's like, okay, we're going to try and figure out what's going on with T.R.U.S.T. But with Slade, there's a little bit more going on there that we're not fully clear on. I guess like I guess he wants to do good, but there's still like more going on here that we still haven't been revealed yet, so I'm interested to see how that all turns out. Probably in the events of Shadow War, I'd assume we'll get some answers on that. So yeah, overall consensus, I thought this issue itself was decent. One of the weaker ones in the 4 issues. I think the issue I liked the most was probably the previous issue, because it was something so out there and wacky and really crazy cosmic. Slade getting trapped into, like, or magic based, I should say, into like the Book of Fables, and riding a magical unicorn going into battle. Like, that stuff is so ridiculous that I kind of love it. Here it's a little bit more serious, I guess, and like the stuff with Dr. Destiny and that kind of left me a little bit confused. But I think after a repeat viewing and rereading the issue and kind of doing a little background stuff on the character of Libra, it definitely helped the issue more for me upon the second reading. Not the best, but I still think Deathstroke Inc. is still a pretty good book. The artwork this time around is still kind of like the previous issue, is not quite as strong, but I think in some cases, like, there's moments where the art looks really good, and then there's other moments where it's just kind of lackluster to me. Like, pages like this, the flashback stuff, that's not really like all that exciting to me. Like this shot here, now this looks really cool with the colors and the whole lightning and everything going on there. Yeah, so like I said, stuff like this, not too huge in, and then but then you'll get like other pages, like shots like this, that I think look a little bit cooler in that. So, or like big epic grand shots with the Legion of Doom, like these 2-page spreads right here that look pretty cool. So yeah, thoughts are kind of a bit over the place for Deathstroke Inc. number 4. Didn't really hate it, didn't really love it. It's kind of more towards the middle, but like positive middle. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this particular issue. What did you think of it? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Be sure to come back next time, as I got even more DC comic book reviews to get out. It's just always kind of a mad rush when you get a bunch of issues that come out, and you got to try and cover as many as possible. I already did Robin, Teen Titans Academy. I figured I'd do this one. I think I might do Detective Comics or Task Force Z, or DC versus Vampires, and I think there was another issue that came out this week. Crap. There's a lot to cover at the end of the month, which is why I wish DC would just kind of spread out some of the titles I'm reading throughout the weeks, instead of just like all at the very end of the month. Like, I wish Robin would come out like week 3 instead of like week 4 of the month. I think it would work better for me, but that's all I gotta say. Yeah, tell me your thoughts down in the comment section below, and as always, take care now. Bye bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.